Hey there YouTube, it's Monday night and I'm just chilling like a villain in my PJs. I just took a shower. I ran a couple miles tonight. I'm training for a half marathon. I've done 2 of them already and I'm looking to do my 3rd. I'm not fast. I'm not look at me. Do I look that svelte? I'm not a runner. But I do train, and I thought to myself in the shower, is one of those shower ideas, you know what, why don't you do a video on YouTube that documents how YouTube has been going for you the past couple of months? Because I'll tell you, the struggle has been real. I've done a lot of work on YouTube over the years, and especially over the past few months. And it hasn't gotten the results that I've expected, but I've learned some things. Stick with me. So you see, I have this whiteboard, and I thought to myself, we could call this Whiteboard Sessions, where we talk about different topics. And I should note right up front that this isn't me complaining that there's a conspiracy on YouTube against the small creator. These are just observations. It's been a tough go for me the past few months, and frankly for the past year on YouTube. Done a lot of content, spent some money on advertising, and I've used good tools like TubeBuddy, and yet really growth has been throttled ever since I started using TubeBuddy. Surely it's a coincidence, because the actual functions in TubeBuddy are quite useful. However, it is what it is. So I thought to myself, how do you solve this? What is the positive person's way to try to fix this? At this point, I'm 47 years old. I'm not interested in becoming YouTube famous. What I am interested in is figuring out this dang platform. The whole reason I got hooked on YouTube in the first place is because of Zipster, way back when. And I say, not really, I didn't start because of Zipster, but I got into it because of a contest that he had, a song contest. And I went up against my buddy Daniel Bonaire, and we went tete-a-tete on this song contest, and I think he eventually won it. But it really got me hooked, and it really got me growing, just participating in something like that. And as I started to grow to 100 fans, 200 fans, and 300 fans, you really get the itch. And then I stopped doing it after about 2012. By the time you get to 2016, it's like you got to start over. And I get aggressive with it again, start creating content. And then I do a cover of The Weeknd's I Feel It Coming, and we really start to go. 13,000 views. And I grow by 100 subscribers over a year. But in the past 4 months, it's 10, maybe 10. You know, at that pace, I might be at 1,000 by the time I'm 90. So here are the 4 things that I've decided I've got to do to grow this channel. I'm going to tell you the first right now. This is organic YouTube at its best. I'm going to write it down. This is point number 1, if you can see it. Don't complain. All right? There is no conspiracy. There are people who are creating content to try to help you grow and help your channel grow. And yeah, this video could be produced a little bit better. This video could be a little bit more like Casey's, or that other guy who grew by 9 million subscribers in a year. He's from Toronto. He's awesome, by the way, but look, just don't complain. We are commiserating here. Those of you who are struggling like I am, we're commiserating. We're not complaining. There's no conspiracy. There's number 2. Find your niche. All right? So I started very narrow in my first YouTube days, writing songs. Didn't talk a lot, right? And then I went to comedy songs, pop, comedy, smooth jazz. I did a lot of that. And I grew. And I've tried to branch out over the years and do different things, but I fear that I might have branched out too much. You have to find your niche. And I think one of the ways to find your niche is to ask your audience what they enjoy. So for those of you who actually spend any time on this channel, what is it I do that you like best? What is it that I do that you don't like? Is it this? Is this the worst video of all time? It's probably not the worst video of all time, but it's probably not my best production-wise. However, you know, I did do a couple of traffic videos where I just showed me driving through Oklahoma City. I talked about Big Brother a couple of times, it wasn't an abject failure. I got some views on it, but I really didn't dive in and cover that topic like somebody who you would want to subscribe to on that topic would. So my niche, I believe, is smooth jazz, pop, yacht rock, if you will, original and covers, maybe doing some early 80s things. But I want to ask you, you tell me, the audience, what is it I do that you like? Is it comedy songs? Whatever it is, I think I'm going to focus on that, and then maybe one day I'll narrow or I'll branch out again, even though this is technically branching out a little bit. So, number 3, and I totally thought about all of this in the shower, and I solidified it, and I think it's gold. Gold, Jerry, gold. Number 3, you got to create more content. You might not know this, but I work in the digital news business, and I work on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I create news content for people to consume. I work breaking news and severe weather, and there is nothing like available inventory to grow your page views, screen views, and engagement. The more you create, the more opportunity you have to reach an audience. It might not be a home run every time, but if you're a baseball fan, Tony Gwynn created a Hall of Fame career with a whole bunch of singles. So it is just about finding your niche and creating more of that. Whatever the audience wants, create more of it. So for those of you who are only creating one video per month, consider one a week. I'm trying for 2 or 3 a week. I'm trying to find efficiencies that would allow me to do this way more often. Numero cuatro, number 4, all right? So what you got to do is you got to break down and spend a little bit of money. Even though it has not done much to grow my audience, I don't believe at this point yet, you got to spend the money on TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy will, if nothing else, if you only use it for a few months, it will teach you about how to create titles in an SEO fashion, using the search tool to come up with titles that reflect queries that people are searching for. It will teach you about creating tags that are phrases and not words. It will teach you about taking whatever content it is you create and using the form that YouTube gives you to optimize it. There is a certain way to do a title. There's a certain way to do a description. And it helps if you use all 5,000 characters that are available to you. There's a certain way to do tags, and there's a certain way to do cards and end screens. And you really got to do all of it. And you got to create playlists. And TubeBuddy is just a fantastic way to do it all in one spot and to replicate it across videos. It saves you a ton of time. And I pay $19 a month for it, and or $20, and they don't pay me a dime for this. And in fact, it hasn't really even helped my page grow. And that just might mean that my videos suck. And maybe that is my claim to fame. I don't know. Last but not least, this is going to sound like old man advice, but let me tell you something. Anything that is worth doing is worth waiting on. And you got to persevere with this. You got to keep going. At this point, I'm not interested in becoming YouTube famous or being able to monetize again. I just want to figure the damn platform out. I really do. To see I can. I will tell you that whether you're writing songs or doing covers, or you're a comedian or you're a filmographer or a daily vlogger, or you're in self-help, if you're Tim Ferriss, if you're Gary Vaynerchuk, whatever it is, if you're reviewing grills, if you review blenders, whatever it might be, if you're able to grow an audience of 10,000, 25,000, 100,000, or a million, you've absolutely accomplished something. That is absolutely something. If I were interviewing somebody in a job, whatever the job is, and they told me they created that type of audience, I would find a spot for them immediately. YouTube is the gold rush of 2018. This is, or of this era, of the digital era. It really is. It is the place where experts are made. It's the place where stars are made. It is the place where people learn their craft. They learn how to reach an audience. It just is the place. If I were starting anywhere on social, this is the place where I would tell people to go to try to find their spot in this world relative to digital content. So take it for what it is. You got to persevere. You can't give up after 4 months. You can't give up after a year. You just got to keep attacking it if it's something that you want to do. And that means you got to attack it with better tools and efficiencies. You have to attack it with more content. You got to find your niche and ask your audience, your niche. And don't complain. Nobody likes a complainer, period. Winners do not complain. We might commiserate with each other, all right? Give me a like, give me a subscribe, do your thing. Have a great rest of the week.